Welcome to this week's roundup of key business developments in Sri Lanka. I'm Nishani Pigera. Let's dive into the headlines. Indian Premier Modi arrives in Sri Lanka. Trump imposes 44% tariffs on Sri Lankan exports. Tourist arrivals at a 6-year high. In our top story this week, the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will arrive in Sri Lanka today. The 3-day visit aims to finalize several agreements related to defense, energy connectivity and digitization discussed during the Sri Lankan President Anukumara Dissanayaka's engagement in New Delhi in December last year. A significant highlight of Modi's visit will be the inauguration of the Sampur solar power plant in Trincomalee, which is a joint venture between India's National Thermal Power Corporation and Sri Lanka's Ceylon Electricity Board. The power purchase agreement for the plant has been finalized at a rate of 5.97 US cents per kilowatt hour. Originally intended as a coal power plant, the project has now been re-envisioned as a solar facility. In a surprising move, US President Donald Trump has imposed a 44% tariff on Sri Lankan exports. Citing a reciprocal discounted tax, Trump alleged that Sri Lanka levies an effective 88% in taxes on American imports, justifying the 44% tax as a fair response. Sri Lanka now faces one of the highest tariffs among Asian nations, with India and Bangladesh taxed at 27% and Pakistan at 30%. The new tariff structure will start from the 5th of April. A delegation from Sri Lanka is slated to meet with the US Trade Office this month to negotiate imposed tariffs. The US is Sri Lanka's largest export partner, accounting for nearly $3 billion worth of exports, 70% of which are apparels. Sri Lanka made a strong investment pitch at the recently held Invest Sri Lanka Forum in Colombo, positioning itself as a resilient nation ready for a new growth phase. CSE Chairman Dilshan Weerasekara reflected on years of adversity, from political unrest to a historic default, stating that the country has now made a full turnaround, noting that this is a moment unlike any other in our history. SEC Chairman Professor Harindra Disabandara highlighted the economy's stabilization and called for long-term growth through market transformation. Swedish investor Mattias Martinsson from Tundra Fonder added that global investors are ready to return if Sri Lanka stays on the right path. From Tuesday, Sri Lanka implemented key tax reforms under its IMF-backed recovery plan. The advance income tax on interest income doubled from 5 to 10%, while a new 15% tax now applies to foreign earnings of residents paid by overseas employers. These changes aim to boost revenue and strengthen fiscal stability and was first outlined by President Anukumara Dissanayaka in Parliament last month. Exemptions are available for those already taxed abroad above 15%, and relief can be sought by pensioners and low-income earners through the Inland Revenue Department. In this week's tourism update, Sri Lanka's tourism industry continues its remarkable rebound in 2025, welcoming over 722,000 visitors by the end of the first quarter, a 14% year-on-year increase. March alone brought 229,298 tourists, capping off a strong winter season, though just shy of the 2019 record. India, Russia and the UK remain top source markets. To sustain momentum beyond winter, Sri Lanka launched a major global influencer campaign, A Story for Every Season, promoting the island as a year-round destination. With a target of 3 million arrivals and $5 billion in revenue for 2025, officials remain confident that the sector's upward trend will continue. Laughs Gas announced its first price increase since 2024, raising the cost of a 12.5 kilogram domestic LP gas cylinder by 420 rupees to 4,100 rupees, while a 5 kilogram cylinder now costs 1,645 rupees, up by 168 rupees. Meanwhile, Ceylon Petroleum Corporation reduced petrol prices, with octane 92 down by 10 rupees to 299 rupees a litre, and octane 95 also cut by 10 rupees to 361 rupees a litre. No changes were made to diesel or kerosene prices. The all-share price index at the Colombo Stock Exchange was positive this week. However, turnover continued to be subdued, significantly lower than the 8 billion rupees recorded in early 2025. The 90 billion dividends made mainly from banks is expected to boost the index in the coming weeks. At the Treasury bill auction held on Wednesday, yields on all maturities increased after 13 weeks. Bids amounting to 183 billion rupees were received, of which 78 billion were accepted. The Sri Lankan rupee was steady against the US dollar this week, with the central bank's indicative mid-spot rate ranging around 296 rupees. And with that, we wind up for this week. For the latest on economic and business developments in Sri Lanka, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. We'll be back next week with more insights. Until then, thank you for watching. Stay safe.